it with okay.
Oh,
Sorry, we just try work, do some housekeeping at the same time. Oh,
so now the podcast
you
is
know, we
live.
see. Okay, so you see, we if we go like okay. All right, so we are get there now because where is Shamisha? She there?
I'm here.
She just mute
Oh,
herself.
okay, good. Yeah. So we were going to ask Brianna now. Shamisha make some valid point. Now, apart from that, is there anything else that you
What was the
think, Brianna?
question
Because
again?
now you talk about the Gen Z. The question was, um, let me. So the question was, what are some of what can women do to help men to understand their role? So we are looking at more in a setting where he's in the family now, is a part of the
Mm-hmm.
family. It's no longer no boyfriend business because when it's boyfriend, I think everybody do them own thing, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But when is in the family now and is to take on that duty and that responsibility. If you see the man slacking off or is not, you don't think is what you'd say living by his responsibility or the responsibility that he ought to be doing.
Yeah.
How do you think women can help them to come back to that place where you remind them of? So how can we help them?
Well, as Shamisa was saying, for true, just having where you can share your concerns about him, meanwhile he can share his concerns about you, so it doesn't feel like you're berating him. So I feel like it's an
Right.
equal thing to say. We just have like a little table talk, or you have
Mm-hmm.
you can like establish in a relationship that every week or so when you talk about what depend on the mind. Because a lot of times in a
Yeah.
relationships, communication, which is key, a lot of people not making any time to do those things, like to seriously have a communication. Different from when you just a
I like
talk
that.
you just stuff, but to have like
I
a
like that
serious
what you said, Brianna.
where the people in the relationship can just sit without
Mm-hmm.
any judgment, without feeling like they're being attacked, to have an open communication where you sit,
Mm-hmm.
listen, absorb, take it in, and then you
Yeah.
work on ways that you can improve yourself together. So like so for
I
instance
really like that because you know I don't mean to cut you. I mean to cut you, but because I really that is like a different aspect of, and that sound like a business. That sound
mm,
like like no, you take the relationship to a business perspective where you actually have a sit down
mm-hmm.
talk, and as you say, so it
Because
in that
sometimes
case,
I
are you
feel
saying?
like rampant emotions can get in the way of like the
Mhm.
delivery of a message sometimes. So when you just sit down and kind of do it business wise, you kind of get exactly what you want to say on the table without
Mhm.
it having any grudges from the past involved in it, or
Mhm.
other stuff bringing up into it.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I kind of like that. And how do you propose that that would be a part of your relationship? Because sometimes, you
Just
know,
say it.
when a person is in, no, when yeah, I mean, at what point? Because is this that
At
it's going to come up at a new? You think it would be from the get go of a relationship? You would
maybe not
lay
the
it out
get go,
and
but so when you maybe realize, like, say you're in a relationship and you think it's going serious,
mm-hmm,
like by the time You kind of feel like marriage is on the way, or you're already in the marriage. Well, most likely you would want to do this before marriage, like do these
Yes, that's
sit down
what
and
I
talk
am
about
saying.
things.
Like when you know you
Yeah.
guys serious.
Definitely do it before marriage, but like more when you're serious into the relationship on your end, and if you feel he's also serious about the relationship, then you can bring it up. You kind of just feel it out.
Hmm. To
Mm-hmm.
say, is it this something that we would like, just like how some
Like how
couples they
it would have
have
been
date
nice.
night.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, Brenda. Just like how some couple would say they have date night and they stipulate that from the beginning of the relationship, every Tuesday we're
Mm-hmm.
going to have a date night. Is it
Mm-hmm.
that you would like to see, or you are saying that once you enter the relationship, you see getting serious and we are put money together for do business and so
Mm-hmm.
in the relationship, you're saying we should stipulate a time where we revisit the relationship and see how we're doing in this relationship. Is there any
Yeah, it
issues?
doesn't even
Is
have
there
to be like
anything?
a yeah, it don't even have to be like a specific time for like a rigid thing to say every Wednesday we have to sit down and talk about a relationship. But sometimes in yourself there's something that is bothering you,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know how to sometimes you don't know how to breach the topic
Mm-hmm.
about it. So I think that sit down thing, it take away having to sugarcoat stuff or having to cover up how you want to say some stuff so that it don't really hurt the person. Because when you're in this sit down thing, you know that the intention is not to hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You just basically want to ask the question bluntly, how you want the answer, and in that way they can give you the answer that you want or whatever
So
it
when you
is.
say give you the answer that you want, suppose they give you the answer that you don't want, no.
Not the answer that you want, but the answer to the question or whatever it is you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because like sometimes sometimes when you bring up a a topic, oh, you just us know. Sometimes when you bring up a topic in a light-hearted way, sometimes it's a serious thing you did want to discuss, but because you bring it up light-hearted, you just get a
Mm-hmm.
light-hearted answer,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and sometimes
Which
that's a
we
no
want the
real.
person to make sure to know that this is a serious thing.
Yeah,
We want the honest. We want your honest thing about it.
yeah.
Just mm-hmm.
Even if sometimes to it not that deep, but sometimes you just want reassurance about certain things, or make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you guys are on the same page in
Mm-hmm.
certain topics. So it just kind of, I think it would have been nice to just sit down and you just kind of have that flat out on the table thing where you ask your question, you get answered, you discuss, and then that's it. Then no, you see the results in your everyday life.
Okay. Another question is how do you feel as a woman who, if you get into that, you want to tell him that, when I met you, you were like this in the relationship, and then now that we are together, I think you change and whatever. And say, for example, he's skipping around. Some men are dismissive of your concern about whatever criticism you have to say about him as a woman. How do you approach that now? To say, okay, now we're presenting it to him and say he's very dismissive about his action, or
So
how.
in this topic, I really and truly have to speak for myself because
But how you
because
think, if it were the
because-
case, I
yeah,
think I think as a single person you should need to even speak up to know from now, like, if it is that situation, how,
yes,
I don't
because
know, because you will never know until you're in the situation too, so I can't even
exactly.
say, yeah.
But what I'm saying
But
is,
what you think?
for me as a person, you have to really know. what kind of things are important to you as a person. So
Mhm.
for me, um, somebody being dismissive of me, that is a very big red flag for me.
Mhm.
So that is something that I personally would not be able to take. If every time I am discussing something with you, you keep dismissing it. So
Right.
by the time you keep on doing that, that just a go turn me off from you as the
Mhm.
man.
Mhm.
Because it goes to show me that you don't really care about my thoughts, you don't care about me in this relationship, basically.
Mhm. And
And
the
if I
respect that
said,
you have, the level
yeah,
of respect.
you don't respect me to take what I'm saying to you seriously.
Seriously, right.
And if I keep on
Misa,
doing that,
Yeah.
I would have to
okay.
leave.
You
Because
so
that's
you're saying the
important to me.
relationship done this, all right?
Yeah, for me, the relationship done, because that's important to me for you to
Yes.
not discredit things that I am saying that's serious to me.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah.
So Misa,
Right.
yeah, so you we like you to hear your view on that. Let me just re, reword the question or to put the question
No,
again.
I understand
You got the
your
question. You
questions,
got
Yes,
right?
the
when you
question.
ask.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Um, Personally, I don't believe I have that issue.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas he's much more of an understanding person. I can talk to
Right.
him about how I feel and stuff, and he's not dismissive. So I don't have that issue. But if
No,
he,
but what if it was you what if, because you have women out there who are in relationship where they do the things that you guys just say, how to talk, how to communicate, take the time out, have patience, and then the person, the spouse or the male is, not, is just like, oh, you just complain about everything, you're just looking attention, and they keep dismissing your concern. What are some of the things that you can, it don't have to be you personally, but
right,
because these are things that are happening to people out there or in relationship where you mention serious concern to the men or to the partner, and then
Mommy,
yeah.
Tasha's
well,
asking you to add her back.
okay,
Hmm?
first, first of
Tasha's
all,
asking you to add her back.
Oh, okay,
Tash?
yeah.
yeah,
You not check
Yeah,
the
yeah,
thing
first,
sorry,
thing.
sorry. Sorry. Go ahead, Shamisha. Yeah,
first
just
of
add
all,
back Tashana.
if
All right.
yeah. So first of all, if the relationship new, right, and there are
Mm-hmm.
concerns that you're addressing, and he's being
Mm-hmm.
dismissive, I think that should be a red flag
Mm-hmm.
from there and then that this is not for you.
Yeah, this person
Mm-hmm.
doesn't
Mm-hmm.
care about
Yeah,
what you have to say.
yeah.
I
So
think
Mm-hmm.
it's a big red flag.
there and then, because
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, you see, if you take heed to these red flag from early, you save yourself a lot of trouble and time.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
heartbreak.
but say, let's say this person is in a relationship for a while now, and
Well, yeah, that's what
her
I'm saying. Yeah.
partner is being dismissive. I think telling letting her partner know, so listen, if this is an issue for me, and if you're going to continuously be dismissive, you leave me no choice but to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then and she have to put on her foot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll
And
come back with the acceptance. Because if you just accept it, then
yes, so she need to make it be known that, okay, this is, you're being dismissive, this is what I'm going to do, this is what is going to happen. And if there's nothing is done still, I
Mm-hmm.
honestly think that person, or maybe try counseling. I So in my case, they're married.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna tell a married person, okay,
Mm-hmm.
because he's dismissive, you need to leave
That's
your
what.
husband or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
So
counseling.
Yes.
I would suggest getting some counseling. So sometimes the counseling really work,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
because you want to get a mediator just to figure out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And the thing
Right.
is
Right.
too,
Yeah.
within this thing,
That.
if you cannot respect your own boundaries, how other people supposed to respect your boundaries? So if it's a thing where it really upset you to be dismissed, you shouldn't accept it. because then that just give the other person permission to keep on doing it.
Right. Right.
But I would you say then? Oh, I think I want to ask Tashana though to respond to
Mhm.
the question as well. What's your take, Tashana? That question. You want
Repeat
me
the
to
question
repeat?
because yeah, I was
She was
in.
in while we were discussing the
Okay.
question.
So I was saying after we have the sit down, because remember the first question I asked was how do you deal with it, to stay to get the man to understand you're having a problem and so and so, which we mentioned about whole communication, how we communicate to him and so
Yeah,
on. Now, what if you have this sit down talk with him and he's this very dismissive of your concern? How would you
well,
articulate
all
how
right.
you
The
deal
first,
with
the
it?
first
Yeah.
thing though, the first thing, if say for example you're gonna have the sit down talk, right? Based off of something your issue, I would have
Mm-hmm.
first I would have asked him how does he see himself? Is he okay with where he is at in life right now or what he's doing? Because remember, a person
Mm-hmm.
who you can force all them want if them not do it for themselves first, them not gonna do it for you. So
Mm-hmm.
first you'd have to go ask him,
Mm-hmm.
you think you're there at the level where you want at in a life?
Are you
Then if him
satisfied with
say
the
no,
relationship or
are you satisfied with
mm-hmm.
where whatever? And him say no, then you reverse it back to him, okay, what would I make you satisfied? Then you start hearing him suggestions, him ideas. Then now, maybe that sit down talk not even
Mm-hmm.
bother happen because then it would have been more of a make his idea now a reality talk. If him answer in that way. But if him
Mm-hmm.
say,
Mm-hmm.
no, I think me good, then now you will say, well, based
Mm-hmm.
off of wait, and if him still gonna be dismissive as the Shamisha and Brenner say, if it's a relationship
In a care or whatever.
in a
Yeah.
care, that is a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
That is a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
that
no,
for
so
sure
no
is
point in
okay.
going to no counselor.
No,
Is there
sir.
any point in going
Relationship,
to counseling if
it
mm-hmm.
all depends on how long. Because
Mm-hmm.
maybe say for example in a marriage, but say for example you can say okay, um we he was because remember now, everybody have them season. Maybe at
Mm-hmm.
him season of
For you to be with
unemployment,
him so long, it
lack
must be
yeah,
a
lack
good
of
person.
drive and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, lack of drive and that a film
So many
season right
different
now.
things.
So Managa say or just
Mm-hmm.
leave. But if your sister, all right, this is a man with it full of
No.
drive, full of aspiration, rare, we get this, and me see me know him have potential, but something is going on. Then
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest the counseling
Mm-hmm.
thing because there's something that is happening when maybe not feel
Mm-hmm.
comfortable, which him should be able to feel comfortable to tell anything. But okay, so for example, maybe him not even know that that's something affect him. Because when I start talk about
Yeah.
things, that is when I
Mm-hmm.
realize, oh shoot, it affect me in this way, and that's why I'm not able to have that drive. But if it's a fresh relationship,
As you
no
mentioned that men think logically and women think with their emotions. So maybe him
emotion,
they are
yes,
doing logical thinking. I don't know it affect you as a female, but you are
exactly.
feel the blunt of it with your emotions,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. And then him
Mm-hmm.
just maybe I think logical for say, all right, I put out resume, just a sit down and a wait. Right? In that while you would have say, all
And
right,
it
then
might
you put
affect
out
you
a
with something
resume.
else.
Yeah, you put out a resume, you maybe can shoot out some more ideas. Okay, Mr. Say you're good at resume writing. Why not start up a resume writing business? Because you put out so many
Mm-hmm.
resumes, you are a professional of putting out resumes.
So create a
So why
job
not
of
make it a business? So it would have, it would have,
Him clearly not
start
very
out.
good at the resume since him not get no job yet.
Well, yeah,
and that
well,
is
maybe,
why,
but
that
But
is
the
why
counseling will
as
also
women
help.
too.
The counseling will also help you see others' perspective. Because
exactly.
sometimes you just you are think one way and then somebody say, so this could be And I'm like,
True.
oh yeah, you're right.
True.
And I never thought of it
Absolutely.
like that way, you know?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest counseling if it workable. If it's a workable
Yeah.
relationship, if it is
You
a
must
make
want
sense
to do it, both
relationship,
of you. Mm-hmm.
yes. If the both of you guys, cause
Mm-hmm.
what if you want to consider and then him a say him no want to consider? That's the next red
I'm
flag.
gonna
Cause then no, you
counsel.
just wanna stay or you is. So then that is when you say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, flight. Cause him no want fight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either fight or
Mm-hmm.
flight.
That is another topic
Mm-hmm.
too, because a lot of these
Mm-hmm.
Jamaican men, they don't believe in counseling, therapy, and none of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Just
I
so
even
must
a
ask
lot
that
of
as an
men
ex.
in
Why is it?
general.
Yeah,
yeah.
they don't want to do it as therapy. Like them, don't want people know them business, and they don't feel like a person can tell them how to feel or how to run their life. But sometimes it's not about that. It's just to
That's what I
figure
was
out.
saying about the emotional maturity.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
But if them not
And
have
then
emotional
then
maturity,
then the
them not
thing.
gonna know that them need it.
Mm-hmm. Or them not gonna want it for
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
themselves.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm. So these are things I think all these things that we are talking about, I think from the initial state of a relationship, for those who are not in a relationship as yet, need to take these things into consideration when approaching a relationship, even though sometimes men will fake. They will pretend as if, yeah, I know
Mm-hmm.
these things. Yeah, I will do these things because you still find even when I mention about this topic about the behavior of today's men, you find that a lot of them are faking in terms of how they're approaching women and behaving as if, yes, I am this guy. I know the right thing, what to do, because they can act it, like act
For a
like
while,
they
one
know
time.
for a while, for a time. And then you will be like, where was this guy all this time in my life? How comes him
Mm-hmm.
so know all these things? And then when him in the relationship now, then you see the true self, that is him is the opposite, like on the other spectrum of what he knows that he is supposed to do, or what you
Mm-hmm.
think he knows. But then when him
Mm-hmm.
start to be himself, you would be surprised that himself would be a total different person. And
Yeah.
then now you're stuck between a rock and a hard place now, as if, how am I gonna deal with this? And now you're married, you have kids, and maybe you don't have no house together. All right. So we don't have all these things together. And then at that point, because it can take you more than 1 or 2 years to find out this person
But
now
you know,
relax.
sometimes,
And is it that he changed, or is it that this
sometimes,
is the real him? Yeah.
sometimes the red flags are there, but it's
Already,
so
yeah.
Yeah, but what about the
minuscule.
women with long distance relationship and them have to marry them other person for them come up and then don't marry and ask these type of things and all these things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because you have different type people meet
because
in different
no,
ways.
yeah, mm-hmm. Cause now
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
you're right.
what going down, which part him there, and him no know what going, which part you there.
Mm-hmm.
True. No, no, that is a valid point too, because back in the days, as you mentioned this now, Shamisha, just to go back to say, back in the days, relationship never used to do via no long distance or via no internet connection,
Right,
that those things. People know them one another in the same community most of the
right.
time. Or is a family member know this young man, and them know this young woman, and then put them together as family, where they do these arranged kind of marriage or them kind of things there. So it's like the family to be blamed for anything right there. So, but now it's like that, people making their own decision now. And then when you make the decision, as you say, you don't know the person, or you think you know enough to get married. And then when they come, it becomes something totally new to you. And then now you don't know how to deal with this person, this
Mm-hmm.
other person, because now it's not the same person
Yeah,
who you were with. So yeah, it's
it's
you
a
know
risk.
it's you have to take the risk, and
You have
then
to
you have
take
to
the
be
risk and
careful.
see.
and see and work. I guess you work along. Do you work? Try to work along with the person. As Tashana was saying, the person would have to want the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
right? You'd have to want the relationship, and the both of you want to work on it. But if it's a situation where the person is just bluntly blah blah, just dismissive, or don't care, that, then it's time to pack up your bag and go
Mm-hmm. Oh,
to the left, or something like
yeah,
that.
because
You
in the
can't suffer
obligated.
through that for what reason?
Hmm?
What reason would you have to suffer through that as a person?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But
because
some people do suffer it.
he's not obligated to change, and you're not obligated to take it. So
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So we know it can be easy to say, but sometimes the situation, people, like how long a person
it's
have for
long.
patience to wait on
Mm-hmm.
them, because sometimes you're in a relationship and, as you say, you don't want to just up and that blah blah, because you don't know still if the person
How
is gonna
long would
change.
how long would just depend on you as a person? Like how much of yourself do you have to give up with not do you feel you can give up with nothing in return for this relationship, basically?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And not even saying with nothing in return, but like how much can you take of him neglecting certain things where you need in a relationship?
mm-hmm.
Like how long can you deal with that in a relationship?
It would be your tolerance
That
level,
it
I
would be
guess.
your tolerance level.
Mm-hmm,
Because some people have higher tolerance than other people. Some people might say that after 3 times of him dismissing you, that's it.
mm-hmm.
And you're done. Some people would have said, no man, you're too mean with that. Maybe him will change later. But other people don't want to waste them time in that.
Very true.
As at the end
Very
of the
true.
day, relationship or not, you are your own person. And you have to
Absolutely.
look out for yourself.
Mm-hmm,
Your mental health, your physical health. You have to be the person to look out for that for yourself.
mm-hmm.
You cannot
Absolutely.
trust you cannot entrust that
Mm-hmm.
with anyone to have your best interests at heart if you don't
Yeah.
have your own best interests.
Wow. That is a valid word. Trust me,
Mm-hmm.
my sister, that is a valid word, because you have to look at your mental health and where that is going with you.
Mm-hmm.
That is a
As a lot
valid.
of the times, these relationships they will suck like what I
Hmm.
have heard. A lot of relationships with men, the men will come out of these relationships bettering themselves, but the
Mm-hmm.
woman is like she get life suck out her
Mm-hmm.
because she has been like just throwing all this love at this man, hoping that she will get just a pinch
Sure.
of what she gave to him back, and then none of that happened, and then no, she suck out dry, and then him feel revitalized after the relationship done. So sometimes
And then
you
it's
Yeah,
a
really,
that's
cycle.
very serious.
Because then when
and then
she
it's
go
a
into a
cycle.
relationship, if she go into a relationship and maybe find a good man now will give her the love, but because of her experience and because of she
She
hanging on
face
to that,
trauma.
then she affect now that good man then now, and then no him
Exactly.
turn bad, and then him go to one good woman, and then the good woman, and it just go on and on and on.
Or sometimes they find themselves keep attracting the same type of person
These
too,
kind of people, yes.
Yeah,
because after you
yeah.
stuck out, you find yourself keep attracting to these people who you don't know what
Suck
they
you.
see in you, but they know what they see in you, and they know that yes, here is a meal ticket for me, or here is, and you wonder how comes you keep attracting these type of people who keep taking from you, and then you leave with a issue, with a mental breakdown or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. So
Mm-hmm.
that those are, guys, these are some really serious things we're talking about. It's really interesting to see the different variation where you guys take this discussion and this discussion. And I don't know if anyone ever have any last words they want to put in regarding regarding the topic or anything else. Tashi, you have anything else you want to say?
Um, as Baby say, I think okay. I think when it come on to who's being a man or how to be a woman or how to be a this or how to be a that or whatever, it
Yeah.
starts off with you and the relationship with God. That is the
Mm-hmm.
first thing. So you have to get
Mm-hmm.
your spiritual entity in check first. So that when you go into a
Absolutely.
relationship, you know, in a doubt to know if he's a man and in a doubt to know if he's a woman or whatever, and
Put
you
God
try to
first.
find that
Mm-hmm.
same type of person that is connected with God if you're a godly person. If you're not a godly person, then you can free for all. But if you are a
Mm-hmm.
person who believe in holiness and you want
Yes.
your household and your family to be in a certain structure so that you can teach
Mm-hmm.
a kid, you have to look for somebody of like mind. That is the next thing too.
Absolutely.
We look up for
Absolutely.
people because them look good, because them smell good, because them tall, them read,
Dress
them in a
code.
good job
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and then you're not thinking of what is in their brain. Are they
Mm-hmm.
thinking the same as me? Not identical, but is the morals
Mm-hmm.
and the values in line
Will
with mine?
complement yours
Because
and will enhance your
exactly,
life.
will
Mm-hmm.
complement, enhance it. If not, that's where the challenge will come about. And
Mm-hmm.
then that is when now you're going to need counseling. So it's always good not just rush into things, know the
Start
person
there.
first. And because you see, once you know a person, you have to have knowledge. You have to know the person and understand the person. Once that come about, the issue would be less. Yes, there's gonna be issue, but it will be less, and you can be able to resolve it
In a more
more and
amicable
better
way.
when you know the person and understand the person. So you understand how him stay, so then you don't know, okay, this is a season where something is going on. Him lack a drive from just looking. Can maybe
Mm-hmm.
him not see it, but you knowing him know it. And then now him knowing you, where you just say, all right, she's always for my best interest. So when you talk to him, he will listen and accept and understand and appreciate because you know no one another. When that is
Mm-hmm.
lacking, that is where the issue will come about because now egotistic pride and everything will come in. Who better than who competition? That is when the negative thing come in. So it's good to know the person that you want to be with, that you see to be with in the future first. And because maybe you
Mm-hmm.
think you understand the person, you think you understand the person mind until something
Mm-hmm.
happen. Because good time you not really a look for nothing. At the bad times, that is when you're gonna be like, oh shoot, it's the wrong person me there own. When it's too late
Mm-hmm.
because then you know you have a family, children, house, and everything already
Yes, I can
entwined.
hear that little one in the background. Yes.
Yes. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's just my little 2 cents of
That's a
leaving
big
it
two
there.
cent there. That's a valid 2 cent. Shamisha, anything you would like to add for us in any last thing that you want to, just to encourage us out there or the females out
Um.
there?
And men,
Oh yes, and the men.
Okay. So first, I can only talk for women. I can't. Right now, I'm still trying to figure out how these
Yes.
men operate and how to approach.
Right,
But
right.
I think too many of us are taking, you know, taking too much crap from these men, and we're
Mm-hmm.
not putting our feet down. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of us know exactly what we're getting ourselves into, and
Yeah.
we turn a blind eye to it,
Yeah.
and then later on think if me did know.
You
You
can
know,
fix
I
it.
think
Yeah, you
from the
can fix things.
yes, from the moment you have that instinct, just
Mm-hmm.
run. If
Mm-hmm.
If
No,
only I
no.
could, you know,
Yeah,
just
no, true.
yeah, you save it. Trust me, you're saving yourself. Don't
Trust your
try
gut.
to.
You are saying to trust your gut, trust your
Yes, man.
instinct. Yeah.
Trust your
Mm-hmm.
gut
Mm-hmm.
because later on you're going to say, you know, say me did know. Just save yourself from you know, say me
Mm-hmm.
did know, and just believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Trust your
Yeah.
gut and um work with whatever decision you make. Work with it. Don't go
Mhm.
back on
Yeah.
your decision.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. That make a lot of
Good.
sense, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
Definitely.
Good teaching. Yeah.
Mhm.
And the last word, Brianna?
Um, I just think men and women the same should work on themselves before they get into relationships. Work on
Exactly.
loving yourself, work on
Mm-hmm.
respecting
Yes.
yourself
Yes.
before you allow somebody to love. Well, not really that, but before you allow somebody in your life who have the ability to disrespect you and
Mm-hmm.
treat you like you're not worthy of love.
Yeah.
So
That.
you need to have confidence in yourself, know your worth,
Mm-hmm.
men and women, so that you don't end up in these lost cause relationships
Mm-hmm.
because you're not sure if you will ever be in another relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
Yeah, I like
Do
that one too.
yes, I
Not
like it.
too hurt coming together.
mhm.
Oh, that's a
Mm-hmm.
good one.
Trying to fix each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good one.
I like what you guys say. I like what Shamisha said. Work with your gut because most of the
Mhm.
time, as women, we are very smart species. God don't create us just like that. We are very smart, and sometimes we underestimate our senses. When we sense things, because the way God create us, we are there to help the man,
Mhm.
and also we think with our emotions, which is even a deeper perspective than the logical thing, because we can always know that, yeah, this white, this black, but the woman know beyond certain things. You understand? And we need to use that up and don't put it to the back burner at all times. We need to utilize that. I like what Tashana said, check with your spiritual life first, because the Bible already tell us, seek God first and everything will be added. And sometimes we seek man first and I try fix broken man, and I try, and we ourselves broken too. It's not just the men. You're broken, man broken, and so we don't even know ourselves. As
Mhm.
tying back to what Brianna is saying, and then you end up in a toxic relationship. You don't know how to leave. You are being abused. You're being mentally breakdown and everything like that, and you don't even know how to fix yourself. You feel like you can fix it, but then no, it becomes a bigger problem for
Mm.
you. So you have your problem that you enter the relationship with, plus this other problem come on you with this person, another person, or to deal with another person. So I think you guys were brilliant today. You make a lot of good points in terms of this kind of situation, because it is really sad when you see relationship out there and people are marrying and then you see it gone, so many divorce rate is so way high and everything, and then the family, at the end of the day, you're losing out on the family again, and that is entering into society, and that becomes another problem on the society.
Right.
So it is, I really enjoy this first conversation
Discussion.
discussion today. I really
Mm.
enjoy it, and I really thank you all for taking the time out to come. And we just want to thank you all for being here today,
You're
and
welcome.
we hope to do another episode
Mm-hmm.
sometimes again soon. Okay,
Okay.
so
Unfortunately,
thank you guys.
the
Yeah.
live we were discussing before we went live. So
I
for the live
know.
is
Yes. So we know
So you
this is just
can't
a
add
beginning.
whatever we miss.
No, we weren't recording it.
Oh my
Yes. So
goodness.
you remember we're just trying it out, guys, because this was just a
need the
test run, and I think
message.
it was a
Oh,
brilliant test run. This shouldn't even we maybe need to do over the topic again or something. But this we was just testing out the whole thing to make sure everything going. But this was a
yeah.
very informative conversation, and
This was
we
just a
as well,
mock test, you know?
yeah,
Just
this
a
a
mock test.
mark thing, and it
Yeah.
really, I think I give it a good rating, because honestly the conversation, I really like the different perspective in which it went, and the different ideas that come from it.
Yeah.
So we just want to
Okay.
thank you
S-
guys
so
again.
when can we tell our listeners to expect another topic?
Yeah.
Yes. So we're looking out, we're going to do this, man, once a week. We're going to come up with some different topic. So I'm going to send out a link again between now and
So
Monday.
would this be a
So on
every Thursday
today,
thing?
yes, we
That is
can
what
do this every
Temita trying to
Thursday.
know
Yes.
because
Yeah, we're going to do on every Thursday. We're going to come back with another juicy topic and this
okay.
real talk. We're going to discuss. People can send in their requests to us if they want to discuss a particular topic. We are just open to discuss. We are not no counselor. We're not counseling anybody and
This
telling
is
them
just
what
our
to do in their
opinion.
life, but we just giving our raw opinion as it relates to things happening in the society, and how it affect us as women, how it affect us, or how it affect our men in society, so we can, do better with ourselves and with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay, guys. So
all right.
you can give your feedback, your comments, tell us what you think, what we can improve, and blessings.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
see you
Bye.
next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
See you next week. Okay, bye. Hello.